Hello guys and welcome to the Kuhn DLC review. This is the 14th of February, so it's been released today, and yeah, I've never even tried to buy any kit, so yeah, let's go have a go. That's probably not enough money, so what we'll do is we'll go on the Kuhn thing, we'll buy everything and have a look. I've gone past it, I don't think. Kuhn, there we go. Right, so they're in game. I think that's new. Yeah, Kuhn pack, there we go. So, there we go. Just buy everything and then have a look at a few bits and pieces that are sort of not standard stuff. Try a few things out. I've bought this 700 down to the shop, so we can have a go with stuff. This is, of course, if you haven't worked it out, in Gary Farms. This is more aiming stuff at the smaller horsepower bracket and the smaller. Oh, don't have enough money. And that one buy? Yeah. Right. So just try and cheat in some money. Didn't work. I think you need to be in a vehicle. There we go. Strange, but yeah. Anyway. But yeah, smaller horsepower bracket is what it's mainly aimed at, I believe. Which I think is alright because it's lacking, the base game is lacking kit this sort of size. A realistic English farm would have this sort of size kit. That looks like a reskin of the base game one, but did that one buy? Yeah, not much more room, I wouldn't think. Mowers. Did that one buy? Yeah, we'll just shift some kit, and I'll be back in a second when I've got some shifted, and we'll buy the rest. See you in a minute. Right then, guys. I've separated out the stuff, so the stuff we're not going to go into too much detail in using is at the back, and then the stuff that we will have a look at I've left on the front. I'm just going to buy the rest of the available stuff then. So that's the wrapper. So that's film colours, different film colours. We'll just stick it on black for now. That's more of a grey, which, because in real life a black is very sort of a bit shiny, sparkles in the sun a bit, but that looks a bit more grey / matte. But we'll have a look, see what it's like on a bale. The new baler, I'm also very interested in that. It won't necessarily add much, but it might be a nice way. And then the baler that's just the Ingagri branded one. So yes, let's have a look around. We'll start up here. This is a wrapper then, wrapping square or round bales. The film isn't necessarily quite the right black, but it's not bad. Be interesting to see how it wraps, because the in the films the wrapper on the wrapper baler combination seems to wrap it in a weird order, if you ask me, but we'll have a look. The merger then, that'll also be interesting, because I want to know whether you can each panel is you can sort of choose which side it flips it to. I don't know, but you would be able to in real life. So Seems to be some sort of subsoiler. Also looks like you can attach it to the power harrow here. Haven't really had any power harrows before, so yeah, that'll be another interesting thing. Just a square baler. Looks quite nice. Discs. Whether that just probably works as a cultivator, I should imagine, but yeah, nevertheless, discs. Better upper combination. I believe you can change which colour foil it is, or they call it foil film. It is, but whether you've got to do that in the workshop or whether you can just do it on the go or stand next to it. Let's see if you can stand next to it and do it. No, you can't stand it. That would have been pretty cool if you could like change it. But anyway, that's the hopper for the seed. That goes on the front when you've got this one on. And I believe you can attach like the power harrow and that to the front of it to make it into a direct drill. But that's just a drill, standalone drill. Be interesting to see where the pipe attaches, because that's got a pipe, or so whether it makes it go down the side, because in real life that would have a pipe coming out the hopper, down the edge of the tractor and then into this. But yeah, maze drill then. That was quite an interesting sort of layout. Interesting to see whether the width is practical. Over here then, just a cultivator, very much like the top-down Vadastag cultivator, if anyone knows about that. Very small, looks to be a direct drill by the look of it, but pretty small. Quite interesting, this vert spinner. I've seen some in real life, and it looks to be a better one than the in-game one anyway. Sprayer seems alright. It's not quite a reskin, maybe a remodel of the original in-game, but yeah, and that's the tank that goes with it. I haven't actually seen the in-game tank, so I don't know whether it's much different, but it seems to look alright. The beacon on the back and all that. I guess that's alright. It looks to be quite a reskin if you ask me, but I think the tyres might be a bit different. The mower that folds backways, you get something like that in real life, so yeah, it's nice to have that option. And then the tether, which is nice because it sort of provides that one that isn't absolutely huge trailed, but it makes it a bit bigger than the 6 rotor I think it is on the back. It's a nice combo. So I'm going to go and mow some grass, then we'll come back to merge it. So see you guys in a minute. Okay then, so just pulling up to the field. Just pull in now with the merger and unfold it. So open the hood for the options. So work mode left, work mode right, work mode middle. Right then. So set it to go to the left. It appears that you can only change it whilst it's not on and lifted up. Gonna do something a bit unrealistic, just in the name of pulling it out. So honestly, I've got no clue about what's the best way to merge it, because obviously you can go left or right. It appears that you don't do each panel, you do it as the lot, which is alright. I think that's alright. I don't think that's a particularly bad thing necessarily, because it might get a bit complicated. Yeah. So that's that. It's got a turning axle. Again, I'm not sure whether that's always the best thing. Some turning axles aren't always great in FS, but for the time being, it seems alright. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute when we've done this headland and we're a reasonable way into the next one, just to show you what I think of it. Welcome back then. So yeah, it's a nice bit of kit. Got some options with it, because although it's small, you can keep it on the left or the right constantly, and do what I'm currently doing, put two widths into one. Or you can do what I did on the last one and put it to the left and then swap it over and go to the right. Or you could do the one before, which is putting it in the centre. So it gives you some flexibility. Unfortunately, as you can see there, it's got the same problems as the in-game rake, and it picks up the headland, unfortunately. But yeah. So I'll be back in a minute with the next piece of kit. Welcome back then. One with the square baler now. Seems to pump them out fairly quick, but this is to both headlands put into one. You only really need to do one with that because it's a dual single rotor width, dual rotor rake widths, but with full rotor rake run widths, if that makes sense. So you only really need to put one headland on to get sufficient room to turn around. And yeah, it's spitting bears out fairly quickly. The pickup's a reasonable size, so no complaints on that front. So yeah, apart from that, it's just a square baler. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute, and we'll be back with the next piece of kit. Now then guys, so just the last bale of the square baling, wrapping that is. Thought I'd do it last so that we could look at all the different colours. The animations, generally on all the things I've seen so far, are very good. Very happy with them. None of the colours are particularly bang on to real life, but I would say that white's alright, we're all used to that. They're all alright. I mean, there's nothing, well, this one's perfect, you always use this one type thing. But I do like the attention to detail in the wrapping. You can see the different films, it's not always the same direction because it's wrapped in different directions. But yeah, pretty good. So I'll be back in a minute when we move on to the cultivation stuff. See you in a minute. Right, welcome back then guys. So as you can see, the subsoiler works as a cultivator. So yeah, so that could just be used as a subsoiler, and then I wasn't entirely sure whether that would make it into fertilised or not fertilised, sorry, ploughed. and the power harrow, we'll get there eventually. It also acts as a cultivator, which is expected really. Yeah. And then this I believe is just a standard drill. I think you can put either of those on the front of this, would work. And yeah, that just works as a standard drill. This one doesn't have fert capabilities, so you can't fertilise at the same time. But then again, you've got certainly a small width, and you could cover that ground very quickly with a fert spinner. I'll come back in a second once I just see whether check that it's a direct drill. If you put both of them together, which I imagine there would be, but I'll come back in a second when I got that tested. See you in a minute. Right then, guys. So just had a look. You can either put both of them on, both of the cultivators on, and that will make it into a direct drill, or you can put a single one on. Either or, they both do the same job pretty much, although that one's got ridge markers on as well. Tank capacity wise, not too great. Well, it takes a bag in a bit, so I suppose it's only a small width, so it's not too bad anyway. We'll come back in a minute when we're on cultivators. See you in a second. Right then, guys, as you can see, I have attempted to use this as a cultivator, and since realised that it's actually a drill. So yeah, that's cultivator on the front, and then drill on the back. So it only actually drills grass, let me turn it off, or radish down. So yeah, it's an interesting piece of kit. I'm not sure it'll be useful for Ingraggery, but it's still an interesting piece of kit. I know I'm making a mess of that, I'm just roughly doing it to demonstration purposes. But yeah, we'll have a look at the maze drill next, and yeah, back in a second. So this is the maze drill, and yeah, it also drills, well, you got sunflowers, soybeans, maize, and beet. I've only ever seen these used for maize in real life, these particular types of ones, but I suppose they're all similar method of drilling, I suppose, but these are the sorts that I've seen for real life. It has got a fertilizer one, which is good, because often these are the main sort of ones that would drill it with fertilizer. Maize is usually drilled with fertilizer because it gets so tall it's difficult to spray it and fertilise it, apart from in the early growth stages, although usually it's coated in it, but anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, that's just a drilling, as you would expect, but I do like it. I'm quite impressed with this, actually. There's more things in it that I like than I was anticipating, and obviously I've only shown you a few things because they're more different than the ones that we've already got in game. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Overall then, I do like the DLC, and I do suggest you buy it, although I do feel that £13 on Steam is heavily overpriced. Well, maybe not heavily, but it's definitely overpriced. Maybe if it was £9, that would be more appropriate. But there are more things than I initially thought, so I was just thinking the baling stuff was the only real original pull for me, but some of this is good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more, and I'll see you later. Bye.